What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. Happy Friday, very much green today. I'm going to talk on why we are green and some big things that did come out. But before I get into any of that, all I ask, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. If you like my channel, want to support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that said, let's get right to it. So sorry for my voice in advance. Obviously, it's a little bit raspy right now, but we are up, as you can see on the live ticker to the left, 4.5%, give or take. 12.3 million as far as overall volume, 35 is the average, and that is a 6-month average. And also 2 million shares being purchased by institutions and hedge funds just today alone. And that kind of goes hand in hand with exactly why we've been up over the last several days, because a lot of big institutions have been changing their risk model to incorporate more risk. And ultimately that is fairly good, because it shows that most likely as well that we are not going to be heading for a recession, because you typically don't add more risk when you are heading into a recession, especially considering it does look like Citibank did say that. JP Morgan is completely switching from real estate to crypto, which at the end of the day is a very big deal. The fact that they're increasing that much level of risk, and that overall shows that there's a lot of capital. And like I even just said, block volume, I always bring that up every single video because that is very important. It shows how much institutions are purchasing on a daily basis. So not only that though, there is more bigger names as well adding to their portfolios, a lot of EVs. So you can see billionaire 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧 does bet big on EVs, so Tesla, Rivian, and Lucid. And that could be said exactly the same thing over the last several weeks. A lot of big money has been buying these dips because they know in reality, A, it's overdone in my opinion. Keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor, do your own due diligence. B, the whole upside potential of EVs is just, it can't be said. Like, there's going to be such a huge transition to EVs, especially over the last little bit. 2030, 2040, there's going to be a lot of big countries switching purely to EVs or green products. So the reliance on these actual companies is going to be absolutely huge. And we all know, I don't need to explain it to you, Saudi Arabia, their 2030 plan, this is why they are betting big on Lucid. And like I said, other countries are going to do the exact same thing, and a lot of billionaires and big money know this, so they're buying these companies very cheap. And in addition to that, there's a lot of big money getting into options, obviously, like I've already mentioned as well. Even recently, 2.08 million, 1.52 million just on options alone. 49-day expiry date, which is on July the 15th, $25 puts, which is extremely bullish. And technically, even looking on the technicals, everything is looking good. So right now on the stochastic, you can see there is that big deviation, black line above the red, showing a nice bullish sentiment. And looking here, so we are technically getting a whole new rush of buyers getting in. You can tell that based on the momentum indicator. Very exciting for us. And looking on the actual chart, we are actually in the higher percentile of the Bollinger Band. I've been saying this over the last little bit. If we can stay 2 consecutive days in the higher percentile of the Bollinger Band, we are going to be trending up, which conveniently, more on the Fibonacci, it will be passing that pivot point. So again, it goes hand in hand. Very exciting. And I do feel, based on everything, despite us going up as much as we have over the last little bit, we are still cheap in comparison to exactly where we are going to be and where we should be. So take that how you see that. I'm just going to go over this quickly as well. So based on today, a lot of EVs, you can tell, is just surging. A lot of capital is getting into a lot of these tech innovative companies that is groundbreaking. So Lucid, we all know, is going to be the next big thing. And we all know that they have an amazing technology, growth aspects. So a lot of big billionaires are looking at these companies for their growth models, who is backing them, and what they intend to do. And Lucid is going to be getting a lot more big money getting in, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. I've always been saying that. But at the end of the day, you do what you need to do your own due diligence, no matter what I say or anyone else. Just want to give you a quick update on some short information as of right now. Unfortunately, a lot of people have been saying that this is a squeeze and this is why we've been going up, but in reality, it's not. So this, again, if you are still one of those believers that thinks that there is going to be a short squeeze, it's just gotten more and more appealing as we've gone up. So right now, the short score is 85.19, utilization is 100%, day by day change, they are closing a little bit, 0.15%, which only works out to be 443,000 shares being returned. And then right here as well, short interest is officially 24.12, and cost to borrow is 17.39. So cost to borrow is starting to go up a little bit, but right now 24 24% is our short interest, which is absolutely insane. So out of everything though, I am partially siding with that there is a likelihood of a squeeze happening. And even today, we saw a lot of big movement, a lot of big money getting in, and you can tell that based on the options activity. And ultimately, these are small little gamma squeezes. So in case you do not know what a gamma squeeze is, it's in relation to options activity, and you always have to look at the open interest. So 4.84 thousand options are currently expiring today at the 1850 strike price. There's a lot of brokers out there and market makers that technically have to cover those shares for today in order to obviously justify for all those that get exercised. If you don't know options, highly suggest in researching them. They are very beneficial, but ultimately when we do get very close to a lot of these strike prices, like I said, $18.50, $19.50, $20, there can be a lot of very volatile fluctuations, especially for us to get over there. Market makers quickly covering their positions. Again, it kind of goes hand in hand with a short squeeze because theoretically a lot of big money is getting in, and as you can even see based on the options activity, $4 million worth of options being done today, with 100% of them being positive. And even you can see right here, that is a nice change of events. Even yesterday, despite us going up roughly about 9% or whatever it was, 34% only was positive. So today might be the day that we are starting to have a bullish trend based on all the technicals, everything else as well. Let me know your thoughts on all that in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. I appreciate you guys watching, and make sure you guys have an amazing weekend.